Hello to, let me see, you send me the message. What's your name again? The name of your account. oneAlmightwindpeac. My dear Wind from the other side. Well, to be honest with you, I just logged out of my account and in my ears, the consciousness is moving my ears. I'm gonna hear something, I'm gonna hear something, I'm gonna hear something. I log in and I click, I check in the account and I see 13 of March is today you send a message. So I think the consciousness know you send a message and you take the time to type everything. So the consciousness don't want me to log off because I was going offline pissed off. The system is blocking the video I just make. It's play in the middle and then it stop it. So I just saved the video from Michael Jackson Carousel. And I saved the video from Michael Jackson The Lady in My Life, the full version. But you ask questions here, my dear loved one on the other side. You type me a very long message. You have to understand, please. I know it's very important when you type in a message, but I'm the wind in this body. I don't go to school. They never send me to school. But when you send me a long letter and I'm reading it, I have the soul of God in my eyes. I'm reading the line, which is made of dark letters. It is not good for the consciousness. I know you mean well, the question you're asking, but I cannot ignore it because the wind know it important. I hope when I'm going to post this video, it will be enough for you to ask. If there's anything you want to say, better connect a webcam. You don't have to show your face. Just speak, and then you can send me the video. Send me a text, and then I can enter your account and play the video. But when I'm reading this long letter, it is not good for the soul in my eye. My eye gets dizzy to read it. Now, you ask question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 question. The last one, you said, are you able to share the history of your bloodline? Well, there is nothing called bloodline in this world, my brother or my sister on the other side. Nothing called bloodline. It's just one black woman, her flesh. Jesus day, one loaves of bread become many for everybody to eat. But Jesus Christ was actually a woman. Mary Magdalene was the body of Mary to go forward in time. Jesus Christ came to die because his vagina was closed. He was only with the paint to paint the flesh of Mary Magdalene so they can go forward in time. There's no different blood in this world. When I say that, the Asian people, the white people, the black people, they're just one beef. The black woman, that was Mary, the brown woman, she had the 2 children, Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene. They were twin. They were not single, they were twin. The little child they saying that Jesus Christ have with Mary Magdalene, the child called Sarah, that is Mary that become the little child. They call him Sarah, the soul blood of Jesus Christ. Sarah is Mary who have the 2 of them. Mary raised them, and now Mary changed body, become their child, and now they calling the God, which make them. It's like your grandmother is dead, but you forget your grandmother live in this world. If your body came from your grandmother and the body that you're walking around with is the grandmother's body, and now the grandmother is dead, but the wind of the grandmother live in the bodies, and now the grandmother is one of the child, but the grandmother is always wrapped with a cloth to show them that she, but they think now they're bigger, and now they tell the grandmother what to do, and not me, the soul that is trapped in this body. The first question you asked, you mentioned that you were the only one born with the clots. Can you explain what you mean by this? You also the second one, you also mentioned that your clot was in England. Can you explain what and where it is? Number 3, I remember in another one of your video you mentioned the clot is ISIS. Can you go into details about this? How does this relate to you? Number 4, in other video you mentioned that your grandmother was the daughter of an African tribal chief. Would you like to share the name of your family? Well, my dear, trust me, it doesn't mean because my father that paints my mother flesh, they just build me a house there. When you fall in love with somebody somewhere, they have a whole list of generation. The woman that have the daughter there and the woman that have the son there, they came from 2 different districts. They met in a disco, they met in the street, and now they live in this address, and now they build this body. But you die from another planet, another city, and they take your wind and fix it in this new baby, and now we have mama and papa. You understand? There's nothing called family blood, but in this generation, this time, my grandmother lived for 106 years. She is a bloodline with my mother. She make her body to be my mother, and out of my mother, she was 13. I was wrapped in a cloth. But the root of my grandmother is the root from the King Solomon, whatever. The point is, understand, my grandmother is also a stranger from somewhere else. Her mother is married to the chief. So the mother came from somewhere else and married to the chief. The chief only paints the flesh, and they have this child. The whole theory about chief history and the cloth, I was wrapped with the cloth of ISIS. I was born in a hospital in Sierra Leone, but the British, they were in the hospital. They take my clothes. They sponsor my father and my mother when I was born. They bring a lot of baby clothes and stuff, and suddenly, before I was 2 years, they have a job for my mother. My mother was away for 2 years. My mother went to England for 2 years. My mother went to Kuwait for 2 years. My mother went to Jordan for 2 years. She was working for Lebanese people and English people. And at the time, I was left with my grandmother and my aunt. I had a difficulty, and by the time I was age 11, they find a job for me. My aunt was in Lebanon. I went there. I was fasting. I ended up in hospital for 2 weeks. What they do to me in the hospital, I don't know till this day. I forget a lot of things. And I go back to Africa. I have money for my job and just living my life. And then by the time I was age 17, I was always faking sex. In Lebanon, they tried to vaginate me. It didn't work. The man who bring me to work there with his wife, he was trying to use me, but I fake it. I crossed my leg. He think he was fucking me, but it didn't work. When I was age 11 till 12 to 13, they want to vaginate me. It didn't work. I faked it. I go to Africa, I faked it. What they do, they use my father. My father is a woman that become my father. My grandmother make my father. My father, when he was 17, He have accident with his arm. He went to fishing. Dynamite. He put the dynamite to catch the fish. The dynamite take his one arm away. He have one arm. But that's a punishment from the consciousness, because the consciousness know he was going to vaginate me. Because when I close my leg, I fake sex because I know it was painful when I tried the first time. I didn't allow no guy to fuck me. They call my dad. They say to my father, I have to go there, that I cause trouble, I don't go to school, I am always late. But I already went to Lebanon. If they will have succeeded to vaginate me there, it's no problem. But I survive it. They don't vaginate me. I come back. Now my father called me. I went there. I was sitting waiting for him the whole day. He's a mechanic. He come around 6 o'clock and puts me in the car. I sit in the car. We're going to drive. He says to me, I have to take my pants out. Yeah, I mean, your father is asking you to take your pants out. I'm like, what? Take your pants out. They tell me you're going out with boys. He said, no, I don't go out with boys. My father hit me so hard I have to take my pants out. And he's checking me, but he's not watching. He's looking the other way. And he put his left arm, because his right arm is gone. He put his left arm, but he's not even watching. He's forcing his arm. He only want to put his arm in to see if his fingers can get in. That means I have sex. But he ended up vaginating me by shoving his 3 arm inside of me. And I was bleeding. But as a child, you don't know nothing. I mean, age 16, going to 17, you thinking sex can vaginate you, not the finger can vaginate you. But the heat was so hard. And then I go home. My dad don't say nothing to me. I don't see him for over a couple of years. But then, during this time, 1 year later, I find that I was pregnant with my boyfriend. 3 months pregnant. I'm thinking, how is it possible? Age 17, I was pregnant. I'm like, oh my God. I don't notice how it happened. Like, I always faked it. But my consciousness was so blocked, I didn't know my father just vaginates me when he do the test. And then I have this baby. They fix me with my first son. And after my first son, I was pregnant again. And then I get an abortion. My grandmother know I just had a baby. It was not possible to have the next child. I was bleeding so much I almost died. And then from there my mother came back. My mother was in England. She found out she was also pregnant. And that time I have 8-month-old pregnancy. I mean, you're pregnant, your mother is pregnant. It's very, very interesting. My mother come, and a couple of years later, they take my 2 sisters to England. They are now in England. They all have British passports now. My younger sister have 4 children in England. The other one have 2 children in England. They were born in Sierra Leone. Now they all have British passports. So, it's a system. The system is very big. It doesn't mean where you live is where you grew up all of your life. You have no family. There's nobody who is your family. We transport one another. The same way your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend is always strange. It's the same way the child you get is always strange. One body belongs to the gods. The wind and the light and the darkness. When you die, you go alone in your coffin. Your pregnancy is alone. You have a relationship with the God that lives inside of you. I have this body. That's my mother, that's my father. But they already break up. They make the picture out of the sex. The relationship is over. So my face is not supposed to be here because the love that built me is not there anymore. Whenever 2 people, the children in the school today, 20 years and 25 years old, 5 years later, if they fall in love, they live in a house. When the God know I'm supposed to end up there, my mother was 13 years of age. So the God that made me is going to make sure my mother again is a virgin, and I will be wrapped again with a cloth because I'm the wind. I have the soul in my eyes. So they know where I'm going because they can see my soul. I travel with my soul. Take care.